You know that feeling when you have this amazing idea and it's crystal clear in your head, but the second you try to explain it, it all falls apart? Well, imagine that idea is a whole new theory of the universe. So, what we're looking at here isn't just a new cosmology. It's really about the incredible challenge of communicating one single massive idea to completely different groups of people, in three different languages, no less, without losing an ounce of the original truth.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Finding a new truth is one thing, but how do you get people to even listen, to hear what you're saying, let alone actually understand it? Turns out it's a huge problem of communication, and as we're about to see, it was tackled with a really deliberate, really clever strategy. See, the problem is, none of us hear a new idea with a completely open mind. We're all listening through what the source material calls cognitive filters. Basically, our existing beliefs, our professional training, all our expectations, they color everything. It's not about being smart or dumb, it's all about the frame. And this leads us to this concept of violated priors. These are just the super fundamental assumptions we have about how the world works, things we often don't even know we believe. And when a new idea comes along that just smashes into one of those core beliefs, our gut reaction is to reject it. Doesn't matter how good the evidence is. And in modern cosmology, you've got two huge ones right here. First, we're basically trained to think of the universe as a closed box. Everything that is inside the box. And second, we're taught that time is this fundamental thing, an arrow that just relentlessly marches forward. So if you're going to come along with a new idea that challenges both of those things, well, you're going to meet some serious resistance. So what do? How do you get past that wall? Well, the answer wasn't to dumb the idea down until it was meaningless. No, the strategy was to translate it, to build different roads to the same destination for different people, and not just in English, but in German and Turkish too, so different scientific communities could all kick the tires on it. They call this contextual translation, and the key is this. The science, the main claims, the predictions, they are 100% identical in every single version. The only thing that changes is the language, the pathway you take to help someone understand it. The goal isn't to persuade you, it's to make the idea so perfectly clear that you can judge it on its own merits. And the way they explain this is brilliant, actually. They use this metaphor of a house. For the hardcore, skeptical experts, you give them the architect's blueprint. It's all technical, all data, no fluff. For the science enthusiast, you give them a beautiful 3D render. They can see what the house looks like, get a feel for it. And for the general public, you give them a guided tour. You walk them through, room by room, explaining what everything is. 3 totally different views, but it is the exact same house. All right, so we've talked about the blueprint, the render, and the guided tour. But what is the house? What's this new idea about the universe that needed this whole careful strategy in the first place? Let's take a peek inside. So the core idea, the whole shebang, is that our reality, our four-dimensional universe, is a projection. Think of it like a movie. Everything we see and experience is just the image on the screen. The real stuff, the substance, is the film reel itself, a deeper, timeless, five-dimensional space. Time only exists as part of the movie, as the film unwinds. And once you grasp that, this one idea completely reframes everything we think we know. The Big Bang? It's not some physical explosion from a tiny, hot, dense point anymore. It's just the moment the projector switched on and the movie started. As one of the papers puts it, the universe does not explode into existence, it begins to be rendered. How cool is that? And what about dark energy, that mysterious force supposedly pushing the universe apart? Well, in this model, it's not a force at all. It's an inflow. It's energy literally seeping into our movie from the film reel, from that deeper domain. And that's what stretches spacetime and makes the expansion speed up. And dark matter, that invisible stuff we've been searching for decades, it's not a missing particle. It's the gravitational echo of this whole projection process. It's the signature of that interaction between our 4D reality and the 5D source. So the effect we see is totally real, but its origin is something completely different. Okay, so that's the house. That's the big idea. Now let's circle back to how you actually talk about this stuff. I mean, how do you explain something as wild as the onset of projection to different people? This is where that art of contextual translation just really shines. Okay, check this out. It's a perfect side-by-side. For the public, you use this beautiful, intuitive language. It begins to be rendered. You can instantly picture that. But for an expert, You have to be precise, almost offensive. You say it's the onset of projection, and you make it clear it's not a physical singularity. You're speaking their language to head off specific criticisms. Same idea, totally different words. And this is the amazing part. This level of care is there across all three languages. This line is from the technical paper in Turkish. It translates to, "This is a reinterpretation of origin, not a denial of effect." And that exact same clarification is in the English and German versions too. The same scientific rigor, the same core idea, no matter what language you're reading it in. So, you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble? 3 versions, 3 languages? It's a lot of work, but it all comes down to scientific integrity. It's about the purpose of clarity itself. Because look, making things accessible is great, but you can't do it by sacrificing the science. If you water an idea down too much, it stops being science and just becomes, a nice story. So the real test here is that every single version, even the simplest guided tour, still has to have the theory's scientific teeth. It has to lead to something testable. And here they are. This is the theory's teeth. A single, very specific, very high-risk prediction that is in every single document. The framework says we should find a base level of perfectly clean, pristine hydrogen gas in the absolute emptiest parts of space. This isn't hydrogen from stars. It's hydrogen that supposedly condenses right out of the energy flowing into our universe. No other model predicts that. And this is the ballgame, right here. No excuses, no wiggle room. The expert paper says it loud and clear. If we look for that hydrogen and it's not there, the framework is wrong. Full stop. No fudging the numbers, no adding a new hypothesis to save it. It's this commitment to being proven wrong that makes it real science. And that commitment is shared with every single reader, no matter which version they got. So in the end, this is really about so much more than just a new theory. It's a masterclass in how to communicate. It's an attempt to build a bridge of absolute clarity so that a radical idea can stand or fall on its own merits. This final slide sums it all up. This new vision where everything flows. And it leaves us with a pretty big question. What other amazing truths are out there just waiting for us to find the right words to explain them?